400 for that. I mean, that is a decent bet you can make because I think they're going to win 14 games. At the same time, you're betting on no injuries.
Yeah.
And nothing. Baltimore Ravens are 3.
Yeah, that one. Now, what's the odds on that one?
Plus 1,000.
So
10-1.
Yeah, so 10-1. So you bet $1, you win 10.
For best regular season record for Baltimore.
Now, that's definitely possible. But again, like you were talking about with the Chiefs and the Bucs being 1 and 2, it's hard to go through an entire football season without any major injuries. Now, knock on wood, the Chiefs have done it the last couple years. Tampa did it, obviously, last year, winning. Baltimore, I think, did have some injuries defensively last year. Tennessee has had some. It's just football's such a violent game, and it's so hard for everyone on your team to stay healthy.
For sure. So best, and then 5th. So Baltimore's 3rd. Buffalo is 4th.
Definitely understandable why they're up there.
And then Vegas is really high on the 49ers.
And Vegas typically is not wrong a lot.
No. So
they're higher on the 49ers, I think, than I am right now.
They are. And so I'm like, I don't think I would take that bet. It's plus 1,200. So it's like, is that a value play? I'm not sure. So what you want to do is you may want to skip that. Now, one thing is I would take Kansas City, maybe have best record, plus 400, 4-1.
Yeah.
You'll throw some money on that. I think KC is going to win 14 games. The one lock, there's another bet that's team with the worst record. The favorite for that is Houston. Yeah. I actually really like that. Does not pay great. Plus 150. But they are a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I'm with you. I really do think Houston is going to be the worst team in the league, record-wise. I could see them winning 1 or 2 games, tops. Obviously crazier things have happened in the NFL, and we were talking about all those injuries, but I feel like the division they're in, too, I mean, with Indianapolis, Tennessee, Jacksonville, I don't think it's going to be very good either. But Indianapolis and Tennessee, I feel like that's 4 losses for Houston right there.
I agree.
And Jacksonville, I think, will be better than Houston, maybe. I feel like those 2 teams are going to kind of be fighting for the bottom. A lot of it, too, depends on Deshaun Watson. Like, is he going to play? There hasn't been a lot of news lately about the allegations of sexual assault with him.
Yeah, so it's been very quiet on that front.
So, does that mean they're kind of getting swept under and he's going to go ahead and play, or is he not going to play in Houston? Because, remember, he was mad and wanted out before that, and then that stuff came out and it got quiet.
So, yeah, we haven't heard. I do think, is the trade market for him, as far as this year goes, is probably done, right?
I mean, here's the deal, too, I think, with quarterbacks especially, is, somebody gets an injury in training camp or preseason to their starting guy, and his value goes up, especially if they think they're a quarterback away. The thing in the NFL is if you have a franchise quarterback, I think you have a chance every week.
I agree.
And Deshaun Watson, in my opinion, is a franchise quarterback. And so if somebody can get him, then I think it's a good trade for him. Now, will Houston let him go? I don't know. But, it's just really hard to say right now, especially with not a lot of news coming out about those allegations. I think
it was like
we've covered those in detail. You can go back and listen in the archives to get our opinion on that.
It was one of those things that was really, really hot for a while, and then it's really cooled off.
Yeah.
It was cooled off to the point where you hear nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that means for him. He may end up playing. But let's talk about something. So, NFC North.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Now, we have both said that we don't think he ever plays in Green Bay again.
I don't think he plays in Green Bay again.
I don't either.
Now, is there a chance that he does? Yes.
There's always a chance.
There's always a shot. I don't think he does. So when we're talking about betting on like total wins. The over/under total wins for Chicago is 7.5.
Ooh, 7.5. So
with no Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
I would say with no Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, me thinking that is how this is going to play out, then I think 7.5 over. I think that's great value. What's the odds on it?
The odds, so you can get over 7.5 minus 115. I would bet that.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, minus 115 for those of you guys that aren't a lot of big time familiar with betting. That's a pretty standard kind of odd that a lot of things that are kind of 50-50.
So minus 115 would be you have to bet $1.15 to win $1, which is actually is pretty standard, is fine. I like that. I like Chicago.
I like that over.
I love the over on that because think about this: the defense is really good. Mm-hmm. They made the playoffs last year, and they really didn't know their quarterback situation at all, right? They kept rotating between Foles and Trubisky. Trubisky's gone. He's a backup for Josh Allen now, right? Foles is technically their number 3. Justin Fields is their 2, and the number 1's Andy Dalton, which Andy Dalton won some games for the Cowboys last year towards the end. Like he put it together. And now he's the starter.
I will say this. I'm super glad as a Cowboys fan I don't have to watch that guy every week.
He's not the best. He's not the best. He's not the worst. But Chicago's defense. So the difference.
Chicago's defense is a lot better than Dallas's was last year.
I agree with that. So that's a value play to me is Chicago, especially if Aaron Rodgers does not come back. Mm-hmm. So if you want to hop on that, like that would be a good one. Let's talk about your team.
Okay, Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys over/under on wins is 9.5.
See, and I love the over on that because I think it's 11. I mean, off the top of my head, schedule-wise, Dallas is going to play Philadelphia twice. I think that's 2 wins. Dallas is going to play New York Giants twice. I think that's 2 wins because I think Danny Dimes is terrible. And I think Philadelphia is another one of those kind of dumpster fires that's a 5 or less win team.
Oof. See, Philly is one of those teams where you go, well, how good is Jalen Hurts? I don't know.
Yeah, but they have a head coach that didn't even call plays last year.
It's crazy what's going on in Philly right now.
Yeah, so I think they're a 5 or less win team, and so I think that's 2 wins. Now, Washington, I think they split. So, I mean, I think they get 5 wins there in the division.
So you're talking 5 more wins outside the division.
Yeah, 5 more wins outside the division.
The deal with Dallas is if they stay healthy.
Yes.
If they stay healthy, because if Dak stays healthy last year, you probably win 10 games.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. How many games did you guys win last year?
I mean, they had top 10. They had the number 10 pick, so
7?
6, maybe.
And so you're talking about, okay,
5, 6.
Everybody's healthy. Can we get 3 or 4 more wins? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, right? And so that's a pretty interesting deal right there.
I know the Patriots are on the schedule at Foxborough. They'll be better, but I think Dallas could have enough talent to beat them. Dallas does come here to Kansas City. That's a win for the Cowboys. I mean,
okay,
so that's 7 right there. I just named, without even really deep diving into the schedule.
Do you think Dallas gets a W here?
Yeah, in Kansas City.
If I was a Dallas Cowboys fan, I would think the same thing. I don't agree with that because I think the Chiefs are going to.
I mean, who they got playing quarterback here in Kansas City?
Some loser named Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, what's he ever done?
Nothing. Only an MVP and only a Super Bowl ring. That's it.
They hand those out on the street, right?
And no comebacks. They hand them out on the street. So, I mean, MVP, it's whatever. So that's kind of, yeah, so we'll see. Another one is, let's go with...
Didn't you say the Chiefs were 11.5?
Well, Chiefs are 11.5. I like them at 14-3, so I would take the Chiefs all day on that.
See, I'm almost thinking Super Bowl hangover, so I'd almost go under on that.
Super Bowl hangover, I thought the Super Bowl hangover only applied to the loser.
It does. It applies to the losing team in the Super Bowl.
That's
which
true.
was the Chiefs.
Yeah, I messed up there.
I mean, out of the last 10 years, 7 of the 10 teams that lost the Super Bowl did not make the playoffs the following year.
What are the 3 exceptions? Patriots?
I think Patriots were 2 of them.
Right, because Patriots, like, Tom Brady loses to the Eagles and I think comes back and win next year.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think that's going to happen here, especially with how active we were in rebuilding our O-line. But I can understand looking at the stats and saying Super Bowl hangover. I can understand
which
that.
the 49ers were ravaged by injury.
Yeah, they were.
Went to the Super Bowl.
It's crazy. Whatever number of games the 49ers were healthy, they won, right?
Yeah.
If Kittle's there and Garoppolo's there, they win.
But they got the injury bug.
And they still won some games without those dudes. At the same time, it's like, dude,
and they're in,
I see what you're saying.
And they're in really what I would say is the toughest division in football right now. Because Arizona's coming up. I mean, Seattle. I feel like Seattle's on their way down, but they're still really good.
So why do you think Seattle's on their way down? Because I don't feel like that.
I think some of this stuff with Russell being unhappy is going to get to them a little bit this year. I really like DK Metcalf though. He's stud,
big stud.
Obviously San Francisco in that division, and then you got the LA Rams who will be much improved. They were another one of those teams that was Super Bowl hangover the year after they went to Super Bowl.
Missed the playoffs. I got the LA Rams going to the Super Bowl to play against the Chiefs. So I don't, I'm not obviously, and the thing is, I'm a homer, so I'm on the Chiefs, right?
You're already wrong because Dallas, I already told you the last time.
It's going to be Chiefs-Dallas.
The last time the Phoenix Suns were in the NBA Finals, Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
So you're saying Chiefs-Dallas, Dallas wins?
So I'm saying Dallas wins the Super Bowl. But it's destiny. It's destiny.
It's just, what we're pulling stats out right now.
Yeah.
It's stats.
It's going to happen.
So you would take the over on Dallas for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we're talking over on Dallas for sure. We're talking over on Chicago if Aaron Rodgers is not showing up. What's another? Let's get some. We're like getting hyped, so we're taking a lot of overs. Let's find an under.
Okay.
I'll find an under right now. Okay.
All
let's see here. Indianapolis Colts over under 10.
10?
Carson Wentz.
Under.
That's
under.
Is that the under?
Under.
We're looking for?
I think it's under. I think Carson Wentz, I mean, how many times can I say that the best ability is availability? And Carson Wentz is never available when you need him.
You think he gets hurt again?
Yeah, he gets hurt or benched.
Last year, no injury.
Nobody got benched because he was terrible.
He got benched to Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, because he was terrible. In a
Over-unders.
terrible division. Washington was really the only team in that division that had a defense that was worth anything.
You want to find one that's interesting.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 8.5 over-under.
Now, this one, we talked about it pre-show. I feel like Pittsburgh is either going to win 11 games or lose 11 games.
So is that a bet you stay away from?
Yes, because I don't know which way it's going to go. Did Big Ben look really bad in their playoff loss to Cleveland? Yes. Now, after a rehab and an offseason where it's been fairly quiet in Pittsburgh, could they bounce back? Yes, absolutely. The stability of Mike Tomlin and Ben Roethlisberger and not a lot of other changes around there, definitely it's a possibility that they could bounce way back. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see them win that division. I'm probably going to go Baltimore there, but I think...
So I'll probably go... So if you were doing divisional bets, I would say Baltimore, right?
Yeah, but Cleveland is much improved.
Man, I know, and it's crazy to bet on Cleveland, and especially if you look at the playoff game, and Mahomes gets hurt in second quarter, and the Chiefs figure out a way to keep him at bay and end up winning in the final minutes with the fourth and inches pass.
Chad Henne.
So that's interesting too. Here we go. Tennessee Titans over under 9.5. If you're not a Carson Wentz guy, you got to be a Tennessee guy.
Yeah.
So you would think Tennessee over 9.5, it's 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, because